The important thing in plant growth and development is the arithmetic growth and absolute growth and relative growth rates. So you see the diagram. Both leaves A and B have increased their area by 5 centimeter square in a given time to produce A dash and B dash leaves. You see in the first diagram talking about A, so it increased from 5 centimeter to 10 centimeter, that is A dash. You see the total increase is the 5 centimeter. Now in the second diagram, as you see, initially it was 50 centimeter square. In the B diagram, see B leaves, it increased their surface area to the 55 centimeters square, that is B dash. Now you see the total increase is again 5 centimeters square. So the total increase in a given time period, okay, in a given time per unit time is the absolute growth rate. Absolute growth, absolute means exactly, that's it, exactly. So total increase was 5 centimeters square, but the the relative growth rate, you see in the relative growth rate, you see the in relative growth rate, so it's kind of relative with respect to the initial one, how much growth is being done. In the first diagram we see 5 centimeter square goes to 10 centimeter square, so the increase is a double. Now in the second diagram you see it goes from 50 centimeter square to 55 centimeter square. So in the B leaves, as you see, the total increase was the 5 centimeter square, but as you see the 50 centimeter square is not that less than the 55 centimeter square, kind of, it's not double, it's just increment of kind of 0.1 per kind of 0.1 thing, so it's not double. Okay, so as we can see, if we compare leaves in the A diagram, the relative growth rate is more than the B diagram, that is leaves. Okay, so as it's also given the definitions are, so the two ways that we can compare this growth. First, measurement and the comparison of total growth. Measurement and the comparison of total growth per unit time is called the absolute growth rate. Okay, and the second diagram, the growth of the given system, the growth of the given system per unit time expressed on a common basis. Example, per unit initial parameter. Per unit initial parameter, you see the initial parameter, it was 5 centimeter. In second case it was 50 centimeter with respect to initial parameter, and that is the relative growth rate. As you see, two leaves A and B are drawn that are different sizes but shows absolute increase in area in the given time to give leaves A dash and B dash. However, one of them shows much higher relative growth rate. Which one and why? So the B leaf shows the higher relative growth rate, and why? Because why is that? Because the initially it was 50 centimeters square, that goes to 55 centimeters square. The increment is not as that bigger in the first case. Then the first case it just becomes double, that is 5 centimeter to 10 centimeters. So that's it. So it depends on the initial thing. If suppose, so it depends on the initial thing. If the if the B leaves has like